What's going on, everybody? Kennybomb is in the building, and here lately, Boon has been on the hunt to try to find out who we believe is the greatest guest character in Mortal Kombat history. Now, I completely missed round one because I deleted my Threads account, but thanks to Boon running these polls exclusively on that platform, I'm back. But my question is, why does Boon want to know who we think the greatest guest character in Mortal Kombat history is? Is it possible whoever wins these polls makes it into a second Mortal Kombat game in the future, or maybe even in Kombat Pack 3? I think it's possible. And it's also possible he's only doing this for fun. But just in case, we gotta get in here and make sure the right character wins. But first, help me out by dropping a like on this video. Just don't forget to smash that subscribe button, especially if you don't want to miss any updates on the future of Mortal Kombat. Now let's get into it.
Run, boy, they coming on.
Alright, let's start off by taking a look back at round one. Boon kicks this thing off by saying, round one poll, who is the best Mortal Kombat guest DLC fighter ever? Cast your vote for who you feel ended up being the better DLC fighter in these 8 1v1 matchups. Don't vote from the hype you had when you first heard they would be added to the Mortal Kombat roster. Instead, vote how much fun you had fighting as each guest character. Starting with Mortal Kombat 9, we, NRS, started adding characters outside of the Mortal Kombat universe as guest fighters. Since then, we've been incredibly privileged to add 17 plus classic pop culture guest fighters to the MK roster, starting with MK9 through MK1. We want to hear from you, so let's have some fun and determine who was your favorite guest fighter to appear in a Mortal Kombat game. Beginning with round one, cast your vote for who you feel ended up being the better DLC fighter in these 1v1 matchups. Don't vote from the hype you had when you first heard they would be added to the Mortal Kombat roster. Instead, vote for how much fun you had fighting as each guest character. Alright, so let's start off with our first matchup in round number one, where we had Homelander from Mortal Kombat 1 versus Spawn from Mortal Kombat 11. And as y'all could see, it was a massacre. Spawn takes this one with 79% of the vote. Now, that's not saying anything was bad about Homelander, because he was very popular when he landed in Mortal Kombat 1, but Spawn was just a different animal. Everything about Spawn in Mortal Kombat 11 was perfect. His look was great, they nailed the cape, his gameplay was great, loved the fatalities, and the lore translated very well into the Mortal Kombat universe. Spawn was just a perfect storm in Mortal Kombat 11, and it's going to be very hard to knock him out of this tournament. We'll see how he fares in round two. Now, the next matchup we had was Ghostface versus RoboCop. Now, I know we're not judging by the hype here, but I'm definitely going Ghostface because RoboCop is just a character who doesn't do it for me. So I think the right character won this one. Now we have Jason Voorhees versus Leatherface. Why did we have to put these guys up against each other and knock one of them out so early? These are two of my favorite guest characters that we've had in Mortal Kombat as well. So hate to see Leatherface leave. I would love to see him in another Mortal Kombat game because, again, I wasn't the biggest fan of Mortal Kombat X. So both of these characters, I want to see them added to a Mortal Kombat game in the future along with Michael Myers. But Jason Voorhees takes the win, and I would say rightfully so. Now, the next one we have is T-1000 versus the Terminator in Mortal Kombat 11. 50-50. This is one Boon actually had to take over to X to get a tiebreaker on, and we'll take a look at that here in a moment. The next one we had another 50-50. We had Predator from Mortal Kombat X versus Kratos in Mortal Kombat 9. Now, I'm going to give y'all my picks here. So, I'm going to say T-1000 in Mortal Kombat 1 over the Terminator in Mortal Kombat 11. While I like Terminator better altogether, Boon said this one is not about hype, it's about gameplay. And I think T-1000, I love his moveset in Mortal Kombat 1, so I would have to go T-1000. Now, Predator versus Kratos. Kratos is a character who really broke my heart because the Xbox did not get a special character. My brother had the PlayStation, I played with Kratos on PlayStation, and I loved them. I hate to say it, but I loved them. I'm going to have to go Kratos. As much of a dark hate spot I have in my heart for him because of what happened in Mortal Kombat 9, I'm gonna go Kratos. Now, we have Alien versus Peacemaker. Personally, again, I'm not a fan of either of these characters really, so I haven't played with them much, but I do like Peacemaker over Alien, so I'm gonna go Peacemaker. Sorry, no, we're not going over hype, but that's all I really got to go off of, because if I don't like the character, really don't play with them much. But Alien takes the win. Next, we had Omni-Man versus Conan. And you know what? Omni-Man is fair. I think Omni-Man was actually a surprising addition to Mortal Kombat 1, and everything translated very well. So I would definitely give that one to Omni-Man. And then we had Freddy Krueger versus Rambo. Now, we got the ugly Freddy Krueger here. It wasn't our classic Freddy Krueger, Robert Englund. But regardless, Freddy has always been scarier than all of the other guys. So when it comes to horror movies, he's the GOAT. And even though we didn't get an Xbox exclusive character in Mortal Kombat 9, we got Freddy Krueger, so he was like our shining light in those dark days, even though the PlayStation guys got him well. And I had a lot of fun using Freddy Krueger. Loved his fatalities, loved his gameplay. I think he was the perfect introduction to guest characters in the Mortal Kombat universe, so I think he deserved this win. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the polls Ed Boon ran on Twitter to see who came through in those tiebreaker matchups. Now, the X results were still very close, but we came out with two winners. In the first matchup, we had T-1000 beating Terminator with 53.7% of the vote, and Predator moves forward to round 2 with 54% of the vote. And now the stage is set for our round 2 matchups. Let's take a look at them to see what we can expect. In the first matchup, we will have Spawn versus Ghostface. Now that's going to be a tough one, but it's easy for me. I already know which way I'm going with that one. The next one we have is Jason Voorhees versus T-1000. Another tough matchup. We'll see if T-1000 can kind of beat him with that recency bias, but Jason Voorhees, I think he's going to be tough to take down. The next one we have, it's fate, ladies and gentlemen. We have Alien versus the Predator, and in our final matchup, we'll have Omni-Man versus Freddy Krueger. After looking at the matchups, for me, I think it's going to be pretty easy, but let's go ahead and get our votes in and see where the results are so far. So here we go. We have Spawn versus Ghostface. I'm definitely going with Spawn. And Spawn is right now in the lead. Again, Spawn is going to be hard to take out of this tournament. The next one we have is Jason Voorhees versus T-1000. You know what? I had to pause for a minute because Ed Boon said don't vote based off of hype. Vote based on how much fun you had playing with the character. And I did not have a lot of fun playing Mortal Kombat X. So while I like Jason Voorhees a lot more than T-1000, I think I'm going to have to vote T-1000. And Jason Voorhees is actually taking the win. Again, I know a lot of people love Mortal Kombat X, and I've seen a lot of the crazy stuff people do with Jason Voorhees, so that doesn't surprise me too much. And I like Jason a lot better, so I'm glad he's winning. I would love to see him added to a different Mortal Kombat game. If that's what this poll means, which is probably, you know, it might not, okay? It might not. The next one we have is Predator versus Alien. I don't like either of these characters. You guys have gotten on me for it before, but you know what? Predator, he's got the dreads going, so we're going to vote Predator on this one. Now we have Omni-Man versus Freddy Krueger. I love Omni-Man. I love Invincible. But I'm telling you what, I love Freddy Krueger a lot more. And you know what? I've used and I had a lot more fun with Freddy Krueger in Mortal Kombat 9, so I think Freddy Krueger is definitely a fair vote, even though I like the character a lot more. And he's got 57% of the votes right now, so it shows I was right. Now, again, everything played out exactly how I expected it to. This one, kind of 50-50. But Spawn, I think he's making it to the end. Spoiler alert, I think Spawn might win. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section and drop your votes for round 2 down there as well. I'll see you guys in round 3. Thank y'all for tuning into this video. Don't forget to drop a like on it and smash that subscribe button if you have not already. Bomb Squad.